This is a crossover question from paper 3 of the June 2023 Edexcel exams. This was question 23 on the foundation paper and question 4 on the higher paper. It takes 14 hours for 5 identical pumps to fill a water tank. How many hours would it take 4 of these pumps to fill another water tank of the same size? This is an example of an inverse or indirect proportion. What this means is as one quantity increases, the other quantity decreases. So basically, when the number of pumps decrease, the time it takes to fill the tank will increase by the same factor. So this is called an inverse or indirect proportion. To answer this question, I'm going to use a ratio table. So on my table, I'm going to put our two variables or quantities, which will be the number of pumps and the time. Right, from the question, we see that it takes 5 pumps, 14 hours to fill the water tank. So I'm going to put this on my table. So the last thing I'm going to put on the table is 4 here because the question's asking us to work out how long it'll take 4 pumps to fill the water tank. So now that I've got all the data on my table, my next step is to find my multiplier. So I know that something times 5 is 4. Right, so I'm going to write this here. So I know that a number times 5 gives 4, right? So I'm getting that from here. So I know that 5 times something equals 4, and that's what I've written here. Now, in order to find what that is, I'm just going to reverse my operation. So I'm going to start with 4, and instead of multiply by 5, I'm going to divide by 5. So that means my multiplier is 4/5. So I'm going to put my times 4/5 here. So 5 times 4/5 is going to give me 4. Now, if this was a direct proportion question, I would also multiply 14 by 4/5. So a direct proportion means that if one quantity is going up, the other one's going up as well. And if one quantity is going down, the other quantity is going down, and both of them are changing by the same factor. So in direct proportion, if I multiply this quantity by 4/5, I would also have to multiply my 14 by 4/5. But because this is indirect or inverse proportion, we will do the opposite. So instead of multiplying by 4/5, what I'm actually going to do is divide by 4/5. Now, since this is a calculator paper, I'll be using my calculator to work out this answer. For this question, I'll be using the Casio FX991CW. So I'm going to go to my calculator and press on, and then home, and make sure I'm on calculate, and then OK. And I'm just going to type it in as it is. So I've got 14, divide by, and then I'm going to use my fraction button, and 4, down button, and then 5, and then execute. So this has given 35/2. To make this a decimal, if you wanted to, you would go to Format, down button, OK, and that tells us that it will take 4 pumps, 17.5 hours. So I'm just going to write that here, 17.5 hours. Now, if you think about this, this makes sense. If it's taking 5 pumps, 14 hours, if we reduce the number of pumps, it should take longer to fill in the same tank. That is assuming that the pumps are identical, which the question tells us that they are. Also that the water tank is the same size, which the question again tells us that that's the case. And we're also assuming that the water is running at the same rate. So in this question, we're making 3 assumptions. We're assuming that the pumps are identical, they're running at the same rate, and that the water tank are of the same size. This question is worth 2 marks. The first mark is a method mark, and it's for finding the multiplier. So you'd get the mark if you've written 4 divided by 5, or times 4/5, or times 0.8, which is equivalent to 4/5. The second mark is an accuracy mark, and this is for the correct answer of 17.5 hours.